Today you will see a collection of fresh recipes made with ginger, brought to life with the help of a juicer, and together we will explore something quietly fascinating: the genuine connection between ginger and eye health. Thank you for giving this subject your time. In the minutes ahead, you will find the fresh recipes you came for, along with useful knowledge about the benefits of ginger, the remarkable journey this fiery little rhizome has taken across thousands of years of human history, and the ways such a small, familiar ingredient supports the delicate work of vision and the everyday well-being of the eyes. Let us begin with the very character of ginger, that warm, spicy aroma and that bright, lively heat that wakes up the senses the moment it appears. Here is one of the great wonders of this humble ingredient. A piece as small as a thumb can bring a powerful spark of flavor and goodness to an entire glass. Behind that warmth lies a fascinating natural compound, and that compound sits at the heart of the connection between ginger and vision. In a moment, its quiet role inside the body becomes surprisingly clear. That compound carries the name gingerol, and it is the source of ginger's signature warmth and much of its value. Gingerol is a genuine antioxidant, one of a lively family of natural compounds that give ginger its character, and antioxidants are among the body's most valued helpers. They take part in the body's daily maintenance, that quiet, steady tidying that keeps tissues fresh and balanced throughout the body. And here is where the story turns gently toward the eyes, because few parts of the body work as constantly with light and oxygen as the eyes do. Consider how much light the eyes welcome across a single day, from the first soft glow of morning through bright afternoons to the gentle screens of the evening. All that light is a gift, the very thing that makes sight possible, yet working endlessly with light and oxygen produces a little natural wear along the way. This is exactly why the body treasures a steady supply of antioxidants, and why fresh, vibrant, plant-rich foods feel so at home in a routine built around healthy eyes. The antioxidant compounds in ginger, led by that warming gingerol, add their gentle share to this quiet, protective work. It helps to picture what that gentle protection truly means. Deep in the tissues, antioxidant compounds act like quiet helpers that keep everything in good order, tidying the small natural byproducts of a body hard at work with light and energy. Foods rich in these compounds lend the body a steady hand in that daily housekeeping, and ginger, for all its small size, offers a warming share of them. It is a lovely reminder that even the tiniest, most flavorful ingredients can take part in the body's quiet, ongoing care. To truly appreciate what your eyes accomplish, picture each one as a tiny living camera that works faithfully all day long. At the front, a clear window gathers the incoming light. Just behind it, a soft, flexible lens bends and focuses that light, adjusting many times each minute as your gaze shifts from a distant view to the words right in front of you. At the very back waits a delicate, light-sensitive screen called the retina, layered with millions of specialized cells that turn light into the images you experience as sight. Every part of this exquisite instrument is built from living tissue bathed in fluid and fed by a fine network of tiny blood vessels. Deep within that retina live two remarkable kinds of light-sensing cells, each with its own gift. One kind handles bright light and rich color, giving you the vivid detail of a sunny afternoon. The other is exquisitely sensitive to dim light, helping you find your way in the soft glow of evening or under a quiet moon. These cells work faithfully through every waking hour, and such constant, energetic work naturally calls for steady protection and nourishment. This is one more reason a diet generous in antioxidants and vibrant, fresh foods supports the eyes so beautifully. That daily maintenance is worth picturing as a kind of patient, loving care that keeps the body's tissues fresh year after year. The eyes work with light every single day for many decades, so this steady long-term support suits them beautifully. A fresh antioxidant-carrying ingredient like ginger earns its place in a thoughtful routine, adding its share to the body's quiet daily work. The benefits of ginger in this sense are gathered gradually, one bright glass and one colorful meal at a time, woven into the gentle rhythm of a nourishing life. Ginger's natural compounds carry another quality that has been treasured for a very long time. They help support the body's own sense of balance and calm. Gingerol and its companions are known for a soothing character, gently supporting the body as it maintains its natural, comfortable equilibrium. Because healthy vision rests upon healthy, well-supported tissues throughout the body, this gentle, balancing quality of ginger fits naturally into a way of eating that cares for the eyes. It is a soft and honest kind of support, offered quietly through consistent, wholesome food habits rather than any single dramatic moment. There is something deeply reassuring about this kind of gentle support. Rather than pushing the body in any forceful way, ginger seems to encourage its natural sense of ease and comfort, the calm, balanced state in which tissues thrive. For the eyes, which ask so much of the body each day, that quiet, steady encouragement is a genuine kindness. It is the sort of gentle help that works best woven through everyday meals, offered patiently and consistently rather than expected all at once. There is another thread in Ginger's story that reaches toward the eyes, and it involves warmth and flow. For thousands of years, ginger has been cherished as a warming ingredient, one that seems to kindle a gentle inner glow, and traditional wisdom has long linked it with healthy circulation. Modern understanding offers gentle support for that idea because ginger's compounds are associated with comfortable, healthy blood flow. This matters for vision in a very real way since the eyes depend on a fine, delicate network of tiny blood vessels to carry oxygen and nourishment to their busy tissues. Let us stay with that thought for a moment because it is a lovely one. The retina at the back of the eye is one of the most active tissues in the entire body, working every waking second to turn light into sight. To do that tireless work, it relies on a rich, steady flow of fresh blood. So, an ingredient traditionally associated with warmth and comfortable circulation offers a gentle, honest kindness to the eyes, supporting the very flow that keeps vision nourished. A tiny, fiery piece of ginger quietly connected to the delicate rivers that feed your sight. Picture those vessels for a moment, some of them so fine and delicate they are almost too small to imagine threading nourishment into the busy tissues at the back of the eye. When circulation flows gently and easily, these tiny rivers can do their quiet work with grace. A food long associated with warmth and comfortable flow lends a gentle, honest kind of encouragement to that process, and ginger has carried that warming reputation for many centuries. A small, fiery ingredient quietly friendly to the finest passages of the body. Ginger also carries one of the most beloved and well-known gifts of any natural ingredient, a wonderful talent for supporting comfortable digestion. Across the world and across the centuries, ginger has been the trusted friend of a settled, easy stomach, gently soothing and supporting the digestive system. This cheerful, calming quality is one of the clearest and most honest reasons people have treasured ginger for so long, and it leads us to a genuinely important idea about how ginger supports the eyes. Here is that idea, and it reveals ginger's quiet genius. The richest nutrients for eyesight, the deep pigments and vitamins that vision loves most, live in colorful vegetables, leafy greens, and bright fruits. Yet the body can only benefit from those wonderful foods when it digests and absorbs them well. By supporting comfortable, efficient digestion, ginger helps the body make the most of the very foods most celebrated for eye health. In this way, ginger rarely stands alone as the star, and that is precisely its gift. It helps the body draw more goodness from everything around it. There is a comforting simplicity to this. When the stomach is settled and at ease, the whole process of nourishment unfolds more smoothly, and the body can gather what it needs from a wholesome meal with gentle efficiency. Ginger has been a trusted friend to that ease for as long as anyone can remember, welcomed for the calm, settled comfort it brings. For anyone building a colorful, eye-friendly way of eating, that quiet digestive support is a genuinely helpful gift, working softly in the background of every nourishing glass. It is worth being clear and warm about all of this because honesty serves you best. Ginger is enjoyed in small, lively amounts rather than by the glassful, and it is treasured for its remarkable compounds rather than for large amounts of vitamins. Its gifts are its warming antioxidant gingerol, its gentle support for balance and comfortable circulation, its beloved kindness to digestion, and its power to lift and complete a colorful, varied diet. Understood this way, fresh ginger juice becomes a genuinely valuable part of natural foods for eye health, one bright, warming thread woven through a nourishing, colorful plate. This companion role is truly where ginger shines for the eyes. A small piece of ginger transforms a fresh vegetable or green juice, adding warmth, brightness, and a lively spark that makes the whole glass a pleasure to enjoy. And a juice that is a pleasure to enjoy is one people happily return to day after day. So ginger quietly encourages the very habit that supports the eyes, making colorful, nourishing drinks more inviting and turning wholesome routines into something to look forward to. A tiny knob of ginger gently supporting a lifetime of eye-friendly choices. Picture a fresh green juice rich with leafy greens and bright vegetables, gently warmed by a small piece of ginger. The greens bring the deep pigments and gentle nourishment that vision loves, while the ginger adds its cheerful spark and its soothing support for digestion, helping the body welcome all that goodness with ease and comfort. This is the quiet teamwork at the heart of good nutrition, where a small warming ingredient helps the whole glass give its very best to the eyes and the body. There is a quiet cleverness in this. Some of the most nourishing vegetables for the eyes carry gentle, earthy flavors, and a small piece of ginger can turn such a juice into something bright and exciting. In this simple way, ginger helps welcome more of these wholesome foods into a daily routine, gently encouraging the very colorful eating that vision loves best. Though ginger is enjoyed in modest amounts, it still carries a gentle scattering of nourishment worth appreciating. It offers a touch of vitamin C, a little vitamin B6, and small amounts of friendly minerals such as magnesium and potassium. These arrive in gentle measures in keeping with ginger's role as a lively accent rather than a main ingredient, yet they add their small welcome part to the goodness of a fresh glass. Every little contribution matters within a colorful, varied diet, and ginger adds its warm, bright note to the whole. That gentle touch of vitamin C is worth a warm word because the eyes hold this bright nutrient in special regard. Much of the eye is built from collagen, a strong, supple material that gives its tissues their shape and clarity, and the body draws on vitamin C to build and maintain that framework. Ginger's contribution here is small, in keeping with its lively role, yet it joins the wider effort of a colorful, vitamin-rich diet. Every gentle source adds its part to the fine and careful design of sight. Through all of it, the heart of the matter stays simple and warm. A small, fiery piece of ginger pressed into a fresh and colorful juice brings its bright antioxidant spark, its gentle support for circulation and digestion, and its cheerful warmth to a glass that cares for the eyes. It asks so little and offers so much character, which is precisely why this humble rhizome has stayed close to human kitchens and human well-being across the long sweep of history. Behind every piece of ginger stands a small marvel of nature worth picturing for a moment. Ginger grows as a leafy tropical plant, its slender green stems reaching toward the warm, humid air, while the treasured part develops quietly underground. There, a knobbly golden rhizome swells within the soil, storing all those warming aromatic compounds in its firm, fragrant flesh. Sunlight, rich soil, gentle rain, and time gathered into a small fiery treasure and offered back to support the eyes and the whole body. That is the honest, everyday poetry of fresh ginger juice. Here is a small, satisfying detail that surprises many people. The part of ginger we treasure is technically a rhizome, an underground stem rather than a true root, which is why a piece of ginger often looks a little like a small branching hand. This fragrant rhizome belongs to a wonderfully aromatic plant family that also includes turmeric and cardamom, which helps explain ginger's warm, spicy, deeply flavorful character. A humble underground treasure, quietly related to some of the most beloved spices in the world. There is a charming reason ginger feels warm on the tongue. Its lively compounds gently awaken the same senses that respond to comforting heat, creating that pleasant, glowing warmth even as the temperature stays perfectly the same. It is a small, delightful trick of nature, and it is part of why ginger has been cherished as a warming ingredient across so many cultures and cool seasons. That cozy sensation is simply ginger all at work, greeting the senses with its bright, invigorating character. The story of how this fiery ingredient reached your kitchen is one of the oldest and most remarkable in all of food. Ginger comes from the warm tropical lands of southern and Southeast Asia, and it has been cherished and cultivated for so many thousands of years that it is known today only as a beloved garden plant. From those tropical origins, ginger became one of the very first spices to travel the world, carried along ancient trade routes toward distant lands, long before most people had ever seen the plant itself. For much of history, ginger was so treasured that it counted among the most precious goods a trader could carry. Journeying vast distances from its tropical home, it reached faraway markets as a rare and valued luxury, prized for its warmth and its lively flavor. It is a wonderful thought that an ingredient found so easily today was once carried like a small fortune across deserts and seas. From a rare and costly spice to a familiar friend in the kitchen, ginger has traveled one of the great roads of human history. More than 2,000 years ago, ginger reached the ancient Mediterranean world, treasured by the peoples of Greece and Rome as a precious and warming spice from the East. Through the centuries that followed, ginger became one of the most sought-after and valuable spices in medieval Europe, carried by traders across great distances and prized in kitchens far from its tropical home. Later, around 500 years ago, ginger traveled across the oceans to warm regions of the Americas, and today it grows and flavors food on nearly every continent. A small tropical rhizome became one of the most globally beloved ingredients on Earth. Across many of the great traditional systems of wellness in Asia, ginger has held a place of deep honor for thousands of years. In the time-honored traditions of the East, it was treasured as a warming, invigorating ingredient, valued for supporting digestion, comfort, and a lively sense of vitality. These traditions grew from generations of careful, loving observation of the natural world and modern understanding, with its knowledge of ginger's antioxidant compounds, adds a deeper and even more satisfying layer to that ancient affection. Tradition and science meeting warmly over a single fragrant ingredient. It is a beautiful thing when ancient wisdom and modern understanding arrive at the same warm conclusion. For countless generations, people sensed that ginger brought comfort, warmth, and vitality long before anyone could name the compounds within it. Today, gentle science helps explain some of what those traditions felt so clearly, describing the antioxidant character of ginger's natural compounds. Old and new instinct and evidence both point to the same humble, fragrant treasure valued across the ages for how well it supports a lively, comfortable life. Across cultures and centuries, ginger also earned a beautiful reputation for warmth, energy, and freshness. Its lively character made it a symbol of vitality and comfort, especially in cooler seasons when its gentle warmth felt most welcome. This enduring bond between ginger and a sense of invigorating freshness helped carry the ingredient into daily life for countless people, a living thread connecting ancient kitchens with the fresh glass enjoyed today. There is a special comfort in ginger as the seasons turn cooler. Its gentle inner warmth feels wonderfully welcome on a crisp morning or a chilly evening, wrapping the senses in a cozy, invigorating glow. This is part of why so many people reach for ginger in the cooler months, folding it into warm drinks and fresh juices alike. A small piece of this fragrant rhizome brings a feeling of warmth and vitality that has cheered people through cool seasons for countless generations. Thank you for staying with this story so far. Your attention allows us to explore this simple ingredient far more deeply than a quick glance ever could, and the most practical part is still ahead. Let us turn now to the useful knowledge that makes ginger a pleasure to bring into everyday life, beginning at the market. A fresh, high-quality piece of ginger feels firm and heavy for its size, with smooth, taut, papery skin and a fresh, bright, spicy aroma. Firmness is the clearest sign of freshness and of juicy, fragrant flesh within. Younger ginger tends to have thinner, paler skin and a gentler flavor, while more mature ginger has a slightly tougher skin and a deeper, warmer heat. Choosing a firm, fragrant piece is the surest path to a lively, flavorful glass. That unmistakable ginger fragrance deserves a moment of its own, because it rises the instant fresh ginger is opened, bright and spicy and full of life. It comes from the same lively compounds that give ginger its warmth and its goodness, a reminder that flavor, aroma, and nourishment so often travel together in whole, fresh foods. A single fresh piece can fill a whole kitchen with its cheerful scent, a small sensory pleasure that makes preparing a fresh juice feel like a warm little ritual. The question of peeling is happily a simple one. The skin of young fresh ginger is so thin and tender that it can be left on entirely, especially for fresh juice, and even the skin of more mature ginger is thin enough to keep after a good wash. For anyone who prefers to remove it, that thin skin scrapes away easily with the gentle edge of a spoon, which glides neatly around ginger's curves. Much of ginger's flavor and goodness sits close to the surface, so keeping a well-washed skin is a lovely way to enjoy the whole of this fragrant rhizome. It is worth knowing the gentle difference between younger and more mature ginger, because each has its charm. Young ginger, gathered early, is tender and mild with a soft, pale skin and a delicate warmth that suits those who enjoy a gentler spark. More mature ginger, left to develop longer, offers a deeper, bolder heat and a more intense fragrance. Both bring the same warming goodness to a fresh glass, so choosing between them is simply a matter of the flavor and the level of warmth you most enjoy. Cleaning ginger is simple and calm, and it deserves a little attention because ginger grows underground and its knobbly surface has small nooks where fine soil can gather. Cool running water and a soft brush usually make quick, easy work of freshening the surface, reaching gently into the little grooves and crevices. A soft touch and clean water are almost always all it takes to leave ginger clean and ready. Cleanliness here is simply a quick, gentle, everyday habit, and it lets all the warm, fragrant goodness of the rhizome come through beautifully. Ginger stores wonderfully well, which makes it a delightfully convenient ingredient to keep on hand. Kept firm and dry in a cool spot, a piece of ginger often stays fresh and fragrant for a few weeks, ready whenever a bright spark of flavor is needed. In a cool part of the refrigerator, it lasts even longer, and ginger also freezes beautifully, staying firm and easy to grate straight from frozen whenever a recipe calls for it. Keeping ginger dry helps it hold its firmness and freshness, a small habit that rewards you with lively flavor time after time. Here is a detail that makes fresh ginger especially rewarding, and it circles back to that early wonder. Because ginger is so concentrated in flavor and warming compounds, only a small piece is needed to enliven an entire glass. A knob about the size of a thumb, or even less, can bring a bright, warming character and a generous share of that valued gingerol to a whole pitcher of fresh juice. This is the quiet magic of ginger. A little goes a remarkably long way, which makes even a single piece a wonderfully economical and long-lasting treasure in the kitchen. A little practical knowledge helps ginger give its best in a fresh glass. Cutting a firm piece into smaller chunks helps it move smoothly through a juicer, and because its flavor is so concentrated, it blends most evenly when added alongside other, milder ingredients. Its bright juice weaves right through a glass, spreading its warmth throughout. These small, easy details mean that even a modest piece of ginger can bring its lively character to a generous amount of fresh juice. Fresh ginger juice is one of the most cheerful companions in the whole kitchen, and this is where it truly shines for eye-friendly eating. Its warm, lively character pairs beautifully with bright lemon, sweet carrot, crisp apple, cool cucumber, fresh celery, tender leafy greens, and golden turmeric. A little ginger lifts and brightens each of them, adding warmth and sparkle while balancing sweeter or milder flavors. In this way, a small piece of ginger becomes the spark that ties a whole glass together and makes colorful, nourishing juices a genuine pleasure to enjoy. Golden turmeric deserves a special mention as ginger's close companion, since the two share the same fragrant plant family and a similar warm, antioxidant-rich character. Together in a fresh glass, they create a golden, invigorating pair that many people cherish, each lending its own warmth and goodness to the other. It is a beautiful example of how two humble ingredients born of the same family can join to make a fresh juice even more inviting and nourishing. This partnership carries a particularly useful lesson for vision. The deeply colored pigments that support the eyes, drawn from richly colored vegetables and greens, are welcomed into the body more readily in the company of a little healthy fat. So a bright ginger-warm vegetable juice enjoyed near a meal that includes something like a drizzle of good olive oil, a few nuts, a little avocado, or some seeds, is a beautifully simple way to help the body carry those precious pigments toward the eyes. Ginger brings the warmth and the spark, while a touch of healthy fat helps complete the picture. As for timing and amount, ginger is welcome at almost any hour, and a great many people find its gentle warmth especially lovely in the morning or on cooler days when its invigorating character feels most comforting. A small piece is the ideal amount, enough to enliven a glass while keeping its heat pleasant and balanced. Ginger fits easily into a varied routine, adding its bright spark whenever a fresh juice would welcome one. Beginning with a modest amount and adjusting gently to taste is the surest way to enjoy ginger comfortably and happily. Turning ginger into a simple, lasting habit is wonderfully easy and inviting. Many people love a bright morning glass warmed with a little ginger and lemon, a cheerful and invigorating way to greet the day. Keeping a firm piece of ginger on hand, ready to add its spark whenever a fresh juice would welcome one, makes the habit effortless. Pairing ginger with the flavors already loved keeps it feeling like a small daily pleasure, and a routine enjoyed with ease is the kind that gently endures season after season. That lively heat is part of ginger's charm, and it responds wonderfully to a gentle touch. Because ginger's warmth is bold, a small amount usually offers the most pleasant balance, bright and invigorating rather than overpowering. Pairing it with sweeter fruits or cooling vegetables softens and rounds its spark beautifully, creating a glass that feels lively and harmonious. This is part of what makes ginger such a joy to work with. A little brings energy and warmth, and the perfect amount is simply the one that feels most delightful to you. A gentle, practical thought helps ginger fit comfortably into daily life. Because ginger is so concentrated and often enjoyed in lively amounts, People with individual dietary needs frequently benefit from personalized professional guidance before turning any strong, concentrated juice into a daily habit. That thoughtful personal care always suits a balanced life beautifully, and with it in mind, ginger becomes one of the most cheerful and agreeable ingredients to enjoy, often a small, warming spark woven through a fresh and colorful routine. Variety is the quiet secret behind all good nutrition, because the body flourishes on a colorful mix of foods rather than any single one. A bright touch of ginger shines most as one lively part of a wider, colorful plate, standing happily beside deep greens, vivid vegetables, and bright fruits. This gentle balance is exactly what the body loves, and it lets you welcome all the warm goodness of ginger with a light heart and an easy, joyful routine that carries through every season. Ginger also weaves through daily life far beyond the juice glass. A little fresh ginger brightens warm drinks, soups, and countless simple dishes, carrying its warmth and its gentle goodness wherever it goes. This everyday versatility means the benefits of ginger can flow through many parts of a day rather than fresh juice alone, making it one of the easiest and most rewarding ingredients to enjoy regularly. A small piece of ginger in the kitchen is a standing invitation to add warmth and brightness to whatever you create. Building healthy habits around the eyes is truly the patient work of a lifetime, gathered one colorful, nourishing meal at a time. A single glass works gently rather than all at once, and that gentle truth is freeing rather than discouraging, because it means every fresh, wholesome choice adds quietly to the whole. Ginger fits into that lifelong picture with ease, adding its warmth, its bright antioxidant spark, and its cheerful support to countless glasses and meals across the years. Small, steady, and pleasant, it is exactly the kind of habit that happily lasts. And there is real freedom in seeing ginger this way as one warm, cheerful part of a much larger, colorful picture. It brings ease rather than pressure, and welcomes small, pleasant steps rather than perfection, asking only for a gentle place in a varied and joyful routine. Alongside bright vegetables, leafy greens, fresh fruits, and plenty of gentle care, a little ginger adds its warmth and its quiet goodness to the whole, supporting the eyes and the body, one cheerful glass at a time. Part of ginger's charm is how warmly it fits every age and every table, each in its own comfortable measure. Little ones often enjoy a gentle hint of ginger softened with sweet fruit as a friendly introduction to lively, wholesome flavors. Busy adults find in it a bright, invigorating lift for a fresh juice. And those who have gathered many years of wisdom appreciate its comforting warmth and its long-honored history. One small, fragrant ingredient, one bright glass, and a warm moment of care that everyone can share in their own way. Remember, too, that the eyes are cared for by the same body, nourished by the same blood, and the same daily well-being that sustain the whole of us. Caring for the eyes is always bound up with caring for the body as a whole, woven into the simple act of eating well and living gently. A warming, supportive ingredient like ginger contributes to that whole body well-being, and the eyes, as part of that greater whole, quietly share in the benefit. So the picture of ginger for eye health comes together clearly and warmly. Its warming antioxidant gingerol adds a gentle share to the daily care that protects the light-filled tissues of the eyes. Its traditional and comforting connection to circulation supports the gentle flow that nourishes vision. Its beloved kindness to digestion helps the body draw goodness from the colorful foods the eyes treasure most. And its bright, cheerful character makes wholesome, eye-friendly juices a genuine pleasure to enjoy. Understood honestly, ginger is a warming, invigorating companion for the eyes, one bright thread woven through a colorful, varied diet, working best alongside the deeply colored foods it so happily brightens. Thank you sincerely for spending this time here and for giving such a familiar ingredient your thoughtful attention. As these fresh recipes fill the glass with warm golden juice and the bright, spicy aroma of ginger rises into the air, it is a fine moment to remember a simple truth. Caring for something as delicate as the eyes is always part of caring for the whole body, with warmth, with fresh food, and with small, kind habits kept gently over time. Ginger is humble and familiar, the kind of ingredient we keep tucked in the kitchen for a bright spark of flavor, and yet it carries warmth and fragrance, a history stretching across thousands of years and countless lands, a treasured place in the traditions of wellness, and a gentle share of goodness that connects to the everyday miracle of sight.